Hey guys, Jack here, and today I'm going to go through a quick preview of Matchday 2 of the Premier League. So I'll just try to be quick as possible because it is very hot in Ireland anyway. So first game we're going to look at is Attenborough versus Everton. So Lampard versus Gerrard. Paul Scholes unfortunately isn't in the mix after leaving Oldham, but we digress. I think it's going to be a big game. Lampard has a few injury issues, and Aston Villa didn't look particularly great in the first game. Steven Gerrard losing his assistant managers clearly have an effect, and obviously there's the public spout between him and Tyrone Mings. So it's going to be an interesting game. I'm predicting it's going to be. I could see Everton getting a win, but really I'm thinking a 1-1 draw. Next, I'm going to look at is Southampton versus Leeds. Southampton had a poor start to the campaign. Leeds had a decent start, nothing special. I think Southampton are still struggling trying to find their feet, and they don't really have a recognised goal scorer. Leeds seem a bit more together, and I'm going to predict a 1-0 win for Leeds United. Next is Arsenal versus Leicester. Arsenal looked good, at the start against Crystal Palace. I don't think they pulled up any trees, but they looked good. Gabriel Jesus looked well. Zinchenko played well. Ben White played well. Both of them out of position, and William Saliba had a man of match performance. Leicester, I think they're missing Harvey Barnes and Ricardo Pereira, so they're missing a few key players. And after their kind of collapse against Brentford in the second half, I'm struggling to see them get into any form. So I'm going to predict a 2-0 win to Arsenal. Brighton versus Newcastle. I think both of them are in good. Started off well. Brighton played very well against Man United, and Newcastle did well against did well against Forest. But Brighton always seem to struggle against weaker oppositions, and Newcastle have been in good form under Eddie Howe. It's difficult to tell which one will finish above the other. I think it'll be a close call. My money is more on Brighton, but he can go either way really, with obviously the financial backing and the quality that Newcastle have, but Brighton seem to have a more cohesion within their squad. I'm going to guess, I feel like it's going to be a boring 0-0 draw. Next is going to be Mancity versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth have only been in front of Man City in terms of scoreline for 8 minutes in all the fixtures they've played. And I think that was Charlie Daniels in 2017, 2017. And I think Man City, with the likes of Haaland, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, if he stays, it's obviously rumours with Barcelona, but they're a mess. I think that there's just going to be too much for them, and I'm going to guess a 3-0 win to Man City. Next is Wolves versus Fulham. Fulham played very well against Liverpool. I think they looked strong. They looked organised under Marco Silva. Mitrovic played very well. Andres Pereira played well. Cabano played very well. And while I think when Darwin Núñez came on, obviously he's a different opposition to than Firmino, for Adarabioyo and Tim Ream. I think that with Wolves' injuries, I think they could still get a result. Wolves looked shaky at the start of the season against Leeds. Jose Sa didn't have a great game, and I think with Connor Cody gone, while he didn't feature at all on Matchday 1, I don't think he's going to be. I think he'll be missed. So I'm going to guess a 1-0 win to Fulham. Last game on Saturday is Brentford versus Man United. I think it's a difficult start for Man United in terms of didn't look good against Brighton. They struggled. It was only really when Ronaldo came on they seemed to have a focal point. Rashford looked off it. Sancho looked off it, and I saw Rashford is getting linked to PSG, which is interesting. I don't know if that'll come to anything, but interesting nonetheless. United still need to make signings, and with Brentford looked good in the second half against Leicester, changed up from the first half to the second, and credit to Thomas Frank, he managed to get behind You managed to pressure Leicester and they got the 2 goals that they deserved. I still think it's going to be a difficult start for United. It's hard to go against United because of the size of them, but I could see a 2-2 really. I could see Brentford taking it, or I can see Man United scraping it, but really I'm going to go with 2-2. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham, first home game for Nottingham Forest. The fans are going to be behind them. They have a lot of quality. While they haven't gelled yet, you can't deny that they have great players around the squad, and they signed their 13th player there. I can't remember who it was, but they were rumoured to be looking at Roman Freuler from Atalanta, and apparently that's close. So I don't think they'll be. It's a lot of different players, but you can tell it's quality. While West Ham have a lot of injury woes. I mean, Kurt Zouma looked leggy towards the end of the second, for majority of the second half, and so they're going to need to rely on fullbacks to kind of drop into the centre back spots. I could see a 1-0 win to Forest. I think it's going to be scrappy enough, but actually I'm going to go 2-1 Forest because I think West Ham have enough quality up front to get a goal, but I think their defensive woes will be on them. The next big game is on Sunday. Chelsea versus Tottenham. I like the look of this game. Chelsea and Tottenham play very well. Is always a tough clash between the two. I think Tottenham looked very well against Southampton. Besides the blip that they obviously conceded first, I think Kulusevski had a stormer of a game. Son and Kane looked good, despite not getting on the score sheet. And Chelsea still look shaky under Tuchel in this, in the first game against Everton. I mean, it was only a penalty that got them, the win. And Everton, credit to them, they put up a good fight, but they just couldn't get a goal in the end. I could see a 2-0 win to Tottenham, and I could see Chelsea just get a 1-0 win, really. I think they're capable of that, but honestly I think Tottenham have the more quality at the moment, and under Conte he'll make sure he would want to get the win. And lastly, Monday Night Football is Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Liverpool had a difficult first game, obviously drawing against Fulham, losing Thiago Alcantara to I think a hamstring injury for a few weeks, but I could see them starting with Darwin Núñez right from the bat, and and just basically go at the Crystal Palace defence. You could tell that they struggled against Arsenal whenever Arsenal put pressure on them. But again, with Palace under Vieira, they've looked tactically aware. They know what to do. Joachim Anderson with his diagonal passing to the likes of Ayew and Zaha in the Arsenal game, I think that could hurt Liverpool. So I'm going to go with a 3-2 win to Liverpool. I can imagine Zaha, Edouard, and if Elise or Eze feature, that they're going to cause the likes of Robertson and Alexander-Arnold a bit of trouble. It's difficult to tell now, but I think that's going to be it. And yeah, that's going to be my match game week 2 preview. Hopefully they look quite good, and I'll go through them in my next video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.